lips are dry, but I want to touch them. Just for a second, just because I can. My hands are an inch from your mouth when you twitch suddenly, and my heart does the same. I'm close enough to see movement under your eyelids, and try to remember what that means. Does it happen when sleep is deep, or when waking is imminent? I wait, with my breath held and my lungs bursting, and even though it hurts, all I can think of is this: you're even more beautiful asleep than I remember. I reach out again, both hands stretched wide above your bed, head, mouth. Your breath is hot on my palms, and there's a part of me that wants to capture it, to steal the most precious part of you and keep it for myself, forever. I smile then and whisper, I'm here. It's me, at last. Your happy ending. Chapter 2. Monday. Dave Kellock's hands were so cold he could barely grip the sponge. He tossed it into the bucket, then stood back, admired the gleaming windscreen of his bus. Not a splattered fly in sight. He'd almost lost a digit in the process, but it was worth the suffering, always. He rubbed his hands to warm them as he gazed out of the depot towards the beach and the pinkening sky above it. The day was waking up, and Portobello promenade with it. There would be a few mad folk in swimming soon enough, boasting blue legs and woolly hats, and the conviction that frigid water made them stronger, braver, purer, better. He could do with some of that. Dave turned back inside, flinching when he spotted the staff notice board. Christie had pinned up the article from yesterday's newspaper. The headline read, "Beloved driver bags City's top award," and beneath it was a massive photo of his big, baldy head next to the bus he usually drove. He'd been as shocked as anyone when the news came in. He'd been voted as Edinburgh's Outstanding Citizen of the Year in recognition of all his voluntary work in and around the city, from beach litter collections to working the food bank to driving the big collection van for the local furniture charity. The award ceremony was this Thursday at the National Museum, and Christie was making a right fuss. Said she'd be there with bells on, and he didn't doubt it. She'd even organised staff drinks afterwards with him and all the other drivers. He wished she hadn't. There were only so many pats on the back one man could take before it started bruising. To be fair, he'd lapped it up at first. Agreed to an interview in the local press, despite the fact that alarm bells shrieked when he was asked. The journalist brought with her a photographer and questions he didn't want to answer. How do you feel? What inspires you to do so much for others? He tried to halt the interview halfway through, but the journalist had talked him round, said it would be good publicity for the charities he supported. So he'd gone ahead with it, and, just like that, his face and name was printed on 20,000 copies of the local daily. He'd momentarily enjoyed seeing himself in the paper and reading ego-swelling comments from lots of folk he didn't even know. They used words like generous and reliable and cheerful, and said he went out of his way to be helpful, and he was a local hero, and that he was one of a kind. Aye, he was one of a kind, all right. He plunged his hands back into the bucket of freezing water and tried to rinse clean the dirty sponge. Most of the filth clung on. The majority of it was unidentifiable, but some of it was easy to label, even out of context. The crisp complexity of an insect wing, a spindly black leg bent at an invisible knee. Dave stared at the broken bits of tiny beings, daring himself to pick them off and ping them onto the floor with a flick of his middle finger.